So anime. Welcome to the channel, everybody. This is the GINKO podcast. I am the owner of GINKO Apparel clothing brand. My name is Sergio Perez. That's the first time I've ever said that. Like, I feel like I'm professional like that. So different saying that out loud. Like GINKO Apparel clothing brand owner Sergio Perez. That sounded pretty good. Yeah. So this episode is the anime episode. Episode 1. Episode 0 was the intro to the brand. I kind of have I'm doing like 3 or 4 episodes like kind of back to back, just so that when I drop these, there is a lot of stuff for you guys to kind of listen to and kind of just dive into. I want to be able to give you guys as much as possible. So one thing I am going to be doing, and I kind of thought about this and I thought it would be really dope because I started doing this last week, a couple weeks ago, not even that far, like 3-4 days ago. Is every podcast, if I can, I'm going to be releasing a wallpaper that I created for free for you guys to use for your desktop. I assume you could use it for your mobile device. Excuse me. But it won't be the full image, but unless you have multiple pages of your home screen. But I'm pretty sure you can just pick a section of it because it's just a collage of images. But I want to be able to drop that for y'all, so yeah, I can see that, and just provide something free. Like I mentioned in the last episode, I'm a creative, so one thing I started doing is making wallpaper, and it's actually been fun to do, honestly. And I think what I'm gonna do is have the wallpaper, and I've been thinking about this. I've already made a couple already, so I'm not gonna do it right now. But what I'm gonna start doing is once I reach to that point is during the podcast, I'm gonna be creating a wallpaper. And then I'm going to make that wallpaper available on the next podcast. So like I'll create a wallpaper on episode 10, but I won't release it until episode 11 for everybody to be able to download and use it and stuff like that. But just something different, something of me expressing myself and being able to provide something to y'all for free. And hopefully y'all would like it. I've got a lot of good feedback at my job about it because I've been putting it on my wallpapers computer desk. I've been putting it on as my wallpaper for my computer at work, and I also have it as my wallpaper for my laptop as well. So, and it's kind of been a nice little therapy. Like it's like about 10-15 minutes, just kind of where I want to piece it, depending on what I'm feeling, and it just has all aspects of me. So everything that the channel is going to be encompassing and representing will kind of be involved in that, in the wallpaper. So hopefully you guys can get down with something like that. Hopefully you guys would like that and be interested in something like that. Any feedback on that would be nice. If you guys do like that, that'd be nice to hear. But regardless, I'll be providing that for you guys to the best of my ability every episode, which shouldn't be that difficult. So I'm definitely gonna try to do that every episode for you guys. But anime, this is the anime episode. How we got started, what did it for me, where I'm at now, stuff like that. So anime, I'm a 1989 baby, 80s baby. Okay, the anime that got it started for me, probably not surprising, Dragon Ball Z. I got into Dragon Ball Z during the Frieza saga when they're in Namek. That's when I jumped on. Tsunami was still a thing. Not This is prior to Adult Swim. You had Thomas the robot, being voiced by Steve Blum, one of the best voice actors of all time. And yeah, man, it was from 5 to 7. The ones that I watched was mainly, you had Sailor Moon on there. If I'm not mistaken, at some point it was Sailor Moon, Dragon Ball Z, which is what I watched. You had Yu Yu Hakusho, and you had Rurouni Kenshin. I used to watch Dragon Ball Z and Rurouni Kenshin. Those were my two. Those were the ones that really got me into anime back in the day. And then I saw Street Fighter. I found some Street Fighter DVDs and I saw Street Fighter. And then that was it. I kind of took a hiatus for a minute. And then eventually I came back to anime when a brother of mine, a brother from another mother, Tony, his little brother, Edwin, came to me and put me on game about an anime called Bleach. Bleach had just released. And I think he actually brought me the book, because a buddy of his lent it to him, or he had it. I honestly don't remember, but he brought me the manga first and told me that they had the anime for it. And I think that day or like a day later, I started watching the anime and I was hooked. Favorite character, Kuchiki Byakuya. Going back to Dragon Ball Z, favorite character on that is Gohan Stage 2. That's my favorite. During the cell fight, that's my favorite character that whole time. After that, he becomes a little bit of a bitch. But yeah, nah, that whole Stage 2 throwdown against Cell, my favorite. Rurouni Kenshin. Kenshin was obviously my favorite. The reverse blade sword. That's what got my attention to him in the first place because he was like a crazy, just assassin samurai that's no longer an assassin samurai killer type shit. Batosai the Manslayer was his name. And then he goes to having a reverse blade sword and trying to kind of like redeem himself in a way for all the stuff that he did. But just that he had the reverse blade, like he could still fuck people up, but he's not killing them. Like that was dope because I'm a pacifist, so to me that's dope. Like you can still defend and you can still use a sword, but you're not killing fools. So that was pretty dope. And then we had I mentioned Bleach. Kuchiki Byakuya, he was my favorite. And then I definitely accredit Bleach to getting me back into anime again. And like it just kept going after that point. Let me see. From Bleach, I couldn't even tell you. I couldn't even like. I did used to watch like Channel 5 cartoons. Like I used to watch Yu-Gi-Oh. I used to watch Pokemon. I used to watch Beyblade. There's one that I feel like a lot of people don't remember, but it used to be on with Beyblade, and it was called the Monster Rancher. It was a kid who was like he was like a gamer, and he was like in a tournament, like he gamed in tournaments, like he was good as hell. And then he gets sucked into the world of the game. And then like I remember like the PlayStation discs in that universe would actually unlock monsters into the world, and like now these monsters would just like exist into the world and shit like that. And like that's what the whole thing was, is like he would go around um collecting these discs, and then at the end he goes back to his world and it all ends up being a dream or something. Like it was never real, if I'm mistaken, or something like that. It was kind of fucked up how it ends. But those, like I used to watch that with those ones when I was younger. And then when I got into Bleach, I realized that there was just a whole slew, like that's when I learned about anime on the internet and just how much there actually is. And that a lot of stuff was actually subbed and not in actual English and like all this kind of stuff. So, quick side note, only a handful of animes that I can fuck with dubbed. I'm just gonna touch on those right now because I'm a subbed versus dubbed kind of person, okay? I can stand Dragon Ball Z dubbed, I can stand Full Metal Alchemist dubbed, um Rurouni Kenshin dubbed, and I think that's just because I saw them on Adult Swim. Everything else I can't. Naruto dubbed, no se puede. One Piece dubbed, no se puede. Like Bleach dubbed, no se puede. Like anything that used to come on like on Adult Swim, like at 10 to like 12 o'clock at night, nah, ain't happening. But yeah, I didn't get into Naruto right away just because I didn't want to jump in the bandwagon of it. And then I had a buddy of mine who in college, I was sitting next to him in college one day, and we had like packets for, because I went to school for automotive technology, and they gave us this packet, and then we have the sheets that's just like titled notes at the top so that you're able to like to write in your notes or whatever. And he starts writing death before notes, so he's essentially writing Death Note like the anime. And I look over to him and I'm like, you watch anime? And he's like, yeah. He was like, why? And I was like, I see you writing Death Note, like I'm actually in the middle of that right now. He was like, dude, it's so good, where are you? And then like from then on, man, it just became a friendship. Like, you know how there's always that, if you go to college, there's always that one like random person that was not in your circle that just ends up being your best friend throughout college. Like y'all were just best. Like he was that guy for me. Like I still talk to him till this day, 10 plus years later. I still reach out to him on his birthday, Cinco de Mayo, tell him happy birthday. He's got a daughter now. um and every year he's always surprised, like, damn, motherfucker, like, you still know? Like, ain't a lot of white guys I know on Cinco de Mayo. It's kind of hard to forget. And like I said, like, I value the friendship with him so much that, I used to go over his house and smoke. The reason that I have the bong that I have an 18-inch glass on glass bong. It was inspired by him because he had one that was similar. So, yeah, man, I have much love for Greg. Shouts out to you, bro. If you ever catch this, I love you. I hope you're well. But yeah, anime is it was that's my cartoon. We go to, those are the ones that got me started. Oh, quick side note. So in middle school, they showed us an anime movie. If anybody remembers this movie, Princess Mononoke, that was the first anime movie that I saw. And that movie was beautiful. Excuse me, my history teacher showed it to us, Mr. Perilla, in seventh grade. It was a great movie. It's about like I don't even remember it completely, but like the forest has like a spirit that's like protecting it and something like that. It's been so long, but it's such a good movie. I would highly recommend. I know if I watch it now, I would equally like it, and probably more so now, just because I have a higher level of consciousness and understanding. Continuing, we're gonna go to animes that I'm currently watching. So the only one that's really actually going on that I'm still watching is One Piece. One Piece. Shouts out to y'all to keeping me into anime, really, because if not, I wouldn't have anything to watch. Because sometimes I don't like getting into stuff because if I do, I know it's just gonna take up time. But now that I'm gonna be doing content stuff related, like I'm gonna be doing anime reaction videos. At least I hope once I get the editing stuff down and I don't get no copyright stuff. Hopefully we can do that. Now I can watch. I can turn my hobby into a jobby, and I can watch anime, create content for it, and go from there. And at that point, I'm not just watching anime and kind of wasting time. Like I'm watching anime and making content and building a tribe. So One Piece, Demon Slayer, that's another one that I'm watching, and now that's on hiatus, so we gotta wait for that one. Um, Bleach. So Bleach, I'm a little heated on because we waited for all this time for Bleach to come out, and then they only dropped I'm not gonna say a couple episodes, and I know these animes take a while to do and all this stuff, but waited so long for Bleach. They hit us with a hiatus, and then I also used to watch Black Clover, which I also knew took a break because the people that do Black Clover are the people that are doing the animation for Bleach. So you're taking a break from Bleach, and because of that, because people are focused on making Bleach, you're forcing Black Clover to take a break because people are on Bleach. Like you get what I'm saying? Like because Bleach is on hold, now two animes are on hold, Bleach and Black Clover. And Black Clover was dope. It was getting really good. I was super heated when that took a break because that was ending. That was dope. And I want to say when I saw it, there were no new episodes. Like I don't think I ever caught up to it. I think I saw it. I caught it. I was able to binge it to the end. If anything, there was only maybe like a month or two that I had to watch new episodes. I don't remember having to wait long for it, if any. Like I said, Bleach, Boku no Hero. Boku no Hero was another one that was getting really dope. Boku is one of those animes that's a tearjerker for me too. One Piece is another one that's definitely a tearjerker. They got a lot of crazy ass moments that are like, damn, it just hits you in the feels. But yeah, Boku no Hero is really dope. Boku no Hero Academia. If I had to pick a favorite, I like Deku. Deku is pretty solid. I like that he's super smart, super analytic. He has a strong like sense of justice and righteousness about him. Like I like that. I can't think of anybody else in the anime right now that would be like, oh, he was one of my favorites. The dude that could phase through the walls, he's pretty dope. I like that anime a lot. It's really good. Hell's Paradise. So my buddy, my ex coworker that I used to work with, he told me about Hell's Paradise, and I ran through that, and that was a dope anime too. Like that shit is crazy, and I know there's a second season coming out for that. It's already been confirmed. That's a good one. I look forward to that one. That one, I think right now they only dropped like 13 episodes for like the first season. I know the manga's already further ahead than the episodes. I don't want to say it's done. I'm not 100%, but I also need to be mindful. I just realized when I'm talking about animes, I don't want to be dropping no spoilers. So apologize in advance if I did or if I do in the future. Not my intentions, I assure you. But Hell's Paradise definitely one. If you guys want to check it out, it's it's good. That's the only way I can explain it. It's good. Jujutsu Kaisen. So Jujutsu Kaisen right now, I'm making reaction videos for. That's the one that I'm actually trying to run through right now. So I can watch it. And a quick little thing on Jujutsu Kaisen 2 is there's so I'm gonna be working closely with there's a store that's here that's called Soul Play Gaming. It's a sneaker store and a gaming store, and they have a huge gaming site right now. They're gonna be doing a lot of events. They did one recently with this anime person this Instagram influencer young lady called Anime Renee. That's her Instagram username, and they had a very good turnout. that they're gonna start pushing more events like that. So if you guys are in the Atlanta area, Decatur area specifically, it's on 106 East Ponce de Leon Avenue. You'll see a big sign, So Play Gaming, there on the corner, where it used to be a bank. And they're going to be doing events there soon. So if you guys are interested, they had a Smash Brothers event. They had I had like a Smash Brothers tournament. They had a bunch of tables around having games like big Jenga, big Uno cards. They had something else there. I'm gonna see if they're down for some chess. Because I play chess heavy. What else they had? But the way that the way that the event ended is that they watched the final episode of season 2 for Jujutsu Kaisen. So like it ended up being a big watch party that was there, and it got pretty hype apparently. You could imagine, if you've ever seen anime reaction videos, just imagine an entire room of just anime fans watching. And Jujutsu Kaisen's got a pretty big following. You could just imagine how good it was just to watch it with a bunch of people. So I'm currently watching Jujutsu Kaisen right now and trying to do reaction videos on that. And I'll end up uploading those as I go. I know when it comes to reaction videos, the one thing that you need to be mindful of is how you edit it and like doing the reaction part right, so you don't get hit with no copyright kind of stuff like that. So I'm definitely gonna have to look into how to do that properly to make sure I don't get hit with that kind of stuff. I think those are the animes that I'm currently watching right now. Do check out those events when they're coming. Follow So Play Gaming on Instagram. And they'll be releasing when they do events and stuff like that. I'll be doing pop-up shops there for my clothing brand with my designs and stuff like that there. So if you guys are interested on that, we'd appreciate the support. I'll be dropping information whenever they do events, what's going on, what they're doing specifically, dates, all that kind of stuff. So, follow and stay locked in for that kind of stuff. And then right now, we're just going to run off a bunch of animes, let's say, that I've watched. I'm just going to kind of go off, and then just to see how many of y'all seen, haven't seen, if these click with anybody, ones that are dope. But let's go off the rant. So we have Afro Samurai, I remember seeing that, it was dope. We had Akira the movie. If you've never seen Akira, that's one of the these like how would you say that? Like the foundations of like anime movies was like Akira, the red motorcycle, the whole nine. It's a great movie. You had other good movies that you probably like. Whenever I think about when people make the comment animes for kids, watch Ninja Scroll. Watch the movie Ninja Scroll, and you will take that freaking comment back like that. I promise you. There is some stuff that goes on that's not meant for children. Let's just say that. Those two movies I just want to point out right off the rip. Street Fighter Alpha, that shit's dope. Street Fighter Alpha Generations, not as good. They do have a dope ass drum and bass song on that though for the intro. And the animation does look very dynamic, but I still prefer Street Fighter Alpha way better. And then you have Street Fighter 2, the movie, which is the like OG movie. Naruto, you can't say nothing about Naruto. I'm a huge Naruto fan, like the Sharingan and Flying Raijin technique, Hiraishin no Jutsu. That's two techniques I wish I could learn from that anime. Boom, those two right there. Already mentioned One Piece. What can you say about Haki and the Devil Fruits? That shit's solid. Soul Eater, ran through Soul Eater. Saw Full Metal Alchemist. Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood is a lot better. I just like how, I don't know, the story for that is just a lot better. Everything about it. Initial D, if you like cars, Initial D is one of the best anime. That's probably on the list of like animes that I rewatched a lot. Specifically the fourth stage. Like season 1 and 2 are like seasons. Season 3 is a movie, but it still ties in chronologically. It like a lot of times with anime movies, like sometimes they have nothing to do with the timeline that the movie was released on. Like it's not canon, if you know the term. You should watch it. And then you have I'm trying to think of other animes that I've seen right off the cuff. Beyblade, I used to watch Beyblade back in the days. I've mentioned Witch Hunter, Robin. Card Captors was another one I used to watch back in the days. You have your Code Geass was something I came into kind of late, but I saw your One Punch Man, which I still need to watch. I think the latest season that dropped, I think I've seen 1 and 2, and I think I would need to watch 3. The Sonic guy, I kind of like him. I forget his name, but something. He's like a fast stepper. He moves quick as fuck. I like him. He looks creepy as hell. And like I said, I always like people that move fast. Like anybody that's like a speedster, I fuck with. I had another anime in my head when I mentioned that. Damn, I can't. I got my Pokemons, got the Yu-Gi-Ohs, first gen Yu-Gi-Oh, not GX or I don't even remember the other ones, but first gen Yu-Gi. That's all I needed. What else? What else? What else? I said Kogias already. Ghost in the Shell I've seen. Higai J was one that used to come on MTV2. Yeah, I remember that. It had its own little stint. I actually watched that for a little bit. There was a movie called Armitage Dual Matrix. That was a dope ass movie. It randomly came on. I remember just watching it one day and it was like, yo, this shit is solid. I mentioned One Piece already. Kaze no Stigma is another random one. Tenchi Muyo, I think, was another one. Tenchi Tengu or something like that. It was like a martial arts one. Baki is one that I actually want to watch. That I keep remembering that one. Baki the Grappler. I want to see that one. Hunter x Hunter. I recently seen. That's a great anime. The power scale system for that is super dope. Killua is my favorite dude on that one. Gon goes fucking crazy though. That anime's dope. I actually like the clown dude too. I can't remember his name. Joker, I think is his name. Joker. Yeah, I fuck with him heavy. I don't know why they just his character design and like personality was like very well done. I like that. I liked him a lot. Who else am I gonna talk about? I said Soul Eater. Samurai Champloo I mentioned earlier. That was one that I wish. That's the anime that taught me that animes don't go on. Like I remember when it released in Cartoon Network, it just gave you the first 13 episodes, and then months later, maybe even a year later, they gave you the other 13. And the anime ends with them splitting up. Like they each go in their own direction. And in my head, I'm thinking, oh, they're just gonna link up again. And then when I watch the show next week, they just restarted from the beginning. And I keep waiting every week to see if they're gonna drop a new episode. And then I eventually do my research and realize that well, I give up on the show, and then years later I do my research that that's how it ended. Like, and then that's when I learned like, oh, some animes just don't go because originally my anime that Dragon Ball felt like it went on forever because they never really gave us all the shows because even when they dropped new episodes, I had the whole Buu saga to watch, so that was a whole nother 100 set of episodes to watch, and it's Dragon Ball, so they dragged that shit. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, like Rurouni Kenshin honestly wasn't even that long. It was like 60 episodes or like 62 or something like that, honestly. But they didn't release episodes as frequently either. And something about those, every episode didn't look the same. I don't know what it was, but like you could feel like you could be watching an episode for the first time because it was just a lot of bullshit. It didn't get good till like the end, like to the middle end. When you start hitting like the recurring characters, but then when you did, like that shit was dope. Like my favorite fight in that anime was Kenshin versus Sojiro. Sojiro the Tenkin. Tenkin no Sojiro. That shit was dope. Kid with no emotions. That's one of my best anime sword fights that I watched. Like for me watching animes way back in the wind, that's one of my favorite anime fights. Sword fights. And then you have Trigun. Trigun was dope. That Vash the Stampede, $6 million bounty. I was telling somebody about him recently. Who else you got? Mentioned Initial D with the cars already. That's the only car one too. That really got my attention. There's supposed to be another car anime coming out soon. I saw the animation for it. It looked dope. I don't remember what it's called at all, but it looked dope as fuck. But it also looks like it's gonna be like a musical. I hope that's just the trailers, because if it is, I don't know how I'm gonna feel about that. So I'm curious for that part. I already said Jujutsu Kaisen I'm watching. I think that's it. Those are the only ones I can mention right now. I know there's so many more. Like so many more. Like Beyblade. I watched Beyblade back in the days. If I didn't mention that one already. Sailor Moon I didn't get into. I don't know why I just couldn't. But for right now, I think that's all the ones that I can mention. Fairy Tail. I loved watching Fairy Tail. Fairy Tail was dope. One of my favorite episodes is when Erza, I think is her name. She it's like towards the end where they're having like the game, the tournament with all the magic schools. I forget what they call themselves. I don't think it's magic schools, but whatever. they're all having a competition, and she like challenges like all 100 of like the monsters that you could potentially face, and she rocks them, and everybody goes crazy. Like that part was dope to me. Is That's one of my favorite parts in anime too. Like that's a dope fight. Honorable mentions of dope fights. You're gonna have Rock Lee versus Gaara, arguably one of the greatest anime fights of all time. Naruto had a lot of crazy dope ass anime, like the Kakashi versus Obito fight. That's one of the greatest fight scenes in that anime. Just the flashbacks of how everything goes and all that. That just goes awesome. You have your Ichigo Kurosaki versus Ulquiorra from Bleach. That's a good one. You have Full Metal. You have what's his name? Wrath. I think the general when he throws it down with greed. That's a dope fight when they throw it down in like the sewer area. That's a crazy throwdown. I was talking with somebody about this the other day. So I actually want to give an honorable mention to this guy. And if you're watching this and hearing this, you've been the first person to really interact with me on TikTok, with me posting my anime stuff and stuff like that. So I want to give a shout out to you, sir. Your name is Will the Knight, if I'm not mistaken. That's how this started. Yes, Will the Knight. Much love to you, and I appreciate you for following me and talking to me and dropping comments and keeping the conversation going. When I do my shirt releases, when I do my clothing releases, reach out to me. I definitely want to hook you up and bless you. Uh, if it's something that you're interested in. But I definitely would love to bless you with like a coupon code or like a free shirt or something, just as a thank you, because you're the first guy to really, the first person outside of the people that I know, like you're the first person that I'm gonna consider part of my tribe, Will the Knight, which is kind of nice because it's Knight with a K too. So you know, you're the knight of my tribe, which would be pretty solid. But like I said, I thank you. I appreciate your time and your comments and you taking the time watching my videos and what I'm posting. And stay tuned, man. I'll be dropping a lot more like that. But yeah, right now these are the animes that I can think of on my head that I can mention. I will be touching on more anime stuff, making more reaction videos on that. So stay tuned. Follow the channel. I'm gonna have the podcast be its own playlist, reactions be their own playlist. Like everything's gonna be here. I'm just gonna have playlists separated for everything, so everything is somewhat organized for you guys. So if there's only one thing y'all want to focus on the channel, y'all know exactly where to go to. But I definitely invite y'all to branch out into all these other topics that I be hitting. So aside from that, I appreciate y'all time. Thank you very much. Be part of the Ginkgo movement. Be part of the Ginkgo tribe. Be generous. Be inspiration. Be ninja. Be knowledgeable. Be optimistic. We trying to push kindness. I'll be doing clothing releases soon. I'm gonna be making my first shirts hopefully this week or in the next 2 weeks. I got some stuff that I need to get done, and I'm ready for it. So thank you for your time. Much love, and stay tuned for the next episode. Peace.